This is the feature story of the Foundation to Illuminate America's Heroes. We believe that this is the greatest true and inspirational story of American heroes not yet fully exposed to the world. The Foundation will illuminate this great story of American heroes to the world by developing it into a major motion picture for the whole world to see. The Foundation will accomplish this through this website and the use of the first ever massive social media campaign to finance a major motion picture by donations from the grassroots public to this charitable foundation. We have developed a film treatment for this great story. It is entitled Honor to You. Honor to You is the inspirational true story of Hollywood's greatest hero and his team of fellow American fighter pilots who risked their lives and some gave their lives so that others could live free. They literally repaid America's greatest debt, and America's greatest debt is not the money she owed. Merian Cooper was one of the greatest Hollywood producers of the first half of the 20th century. He created and produced the original King Kong and over 40 other classic movies, including Santa Fe Trail, The Searchers, The Quiet Man, The Fugitive, She Wore a Yellow Ribbon. Merian Cooper was born in Jacksonville, Florida, from a military family going back many generations. He was literally raised and educated that America's greatest debt was to the fallen heroes who came to our aid in the American Revolution and voluntarily risked their lives so that we could live free. The opening scene in the film treatment for this great story is at the 1953 Academy Awards ceremony in Hollywood, California. Merian Cooper is being awarded a special Oscar for his lifetime achievements to the Academy. The narrator is announcing all of Cooper's films and his great accomplishments. As he is doing this, a montage of the scenes from Cooper's great movies is running on a screen at the back of the stage. As Cooper approaches the podium to receive his award, the Academy jumps up in a spontaneous standing ovation, crying out, "Bravo, bravo, honor to you, honor to you." The camera focuses on Cooper's contemplative face. We hear Cooper's thoughts. This is a great honor, but true honor is when people face evil and stand up to it and risk their lives so that others can live free. I know. I've been there. I've seen it. If only they here knew. Second scene in the film treatment is a flashback to 1919 in Paris, France, an outdoor table. Captain Merian Cooper and his fellow American fighter pilots are sitting at a table. World War I has ended. They are talking about their experiences together in the war, near-death experiences, friends who did not make it. They're remembering Cooper was shot down and spent the last months of the war in a German war hospital with burns. They're talking about the great lives they look forward going back home to America now that they've survived the war. A young boy is hawking newspapers on the street, crying out the headline, "Lenin and the Bolsheviks marching on Poland. All of Europe is at risk." Cooper grabs the paper and shows it to his friends and says, "Friends, we are young and we are strong. We can always go back home to America later. Our friend Poland, who gave us Kosciuszko and Pulaski and others in our great American Revolution, now needs our help. Are you with me? We are a strong American fighter pilot squadron. We can make a big difference in their war." Everyone clinked their glasses and said, "Hear, hear." The next scene in the film is at the Polish embassy in Paris, where Cooper and the Americans make their offer to be a volunteer fighter squadron for Poland in their war with the Bolsheviks. The following scene is the Belvedere Palace in Warsaw, Poland. Marshal Joseph Pilsudski, the head of the Polish military, is listening to the offer of Cooper and the Americans through an interpreter. Pilsudski is an impressive man, large, with a walrus mustache and the full military regalia of the 19th century. When he hears the offer of Cooper and the Americans, Pilsudski stands and salutes the Americans, saying, "Honor to you, brave Americans, honor to you. You shall have your squadron to fight on our behalf." What will you call it? Cooper says, we will call it the Kosciuszko Squadron, in honor of your great patriot who came to our aid in our hour of need. The bottom line of this story is absolutely incredible. Cooper and his fellow American fighter pilots who created the Kosciuszko Squadron made a dramatic impact on the outcome of this war. For 1.5 years, they flew over 250 fighter missions. They strafed the Bolshevik cavalry, preventing them from arriving on time at numerous battles. 3 of the Americans were killed in the war. Cooper himself was shot down and captured by the Russians and spent months in a Soviet prison camp in Moscow. The Poles and Americans didn't even know that he was alive. In the final battle, in which the Poles miraculously smashed the Bolsheviks at the gates of Warsaw, which is called the Miracle on the Vistula River, the Americans in the Kosciuszko Squadron had a great impact on the final conclusion. 1 million Soviet infantry were marching west on Warsaw, and the Soviet cavalry had to reach them coming from the south to hit Warsaw from the south at the same time that the infantry was hitting Warsaw from the east. The mission of the Kosciuszko Squadron was to strafe the Bolshevik cavalry and prevent them from arriving on time. And they succeeded. They succeeded. And Pilsudski and the Poles smashed the Bolsheviks at the gates of Warsaw, and Lenin sued for peace. The Kosciuszko Squadron and their American pilots became an incredible group of heroes to the Polish people. The Polish people built a monument to the American fighter pilots of the Kosciuszko Squadron and the 3 pilots who lost their lives. They buried the 3 pilots under the monument. The monument read, "They died so that we could live free." At the end of the war in 1920, Cooper, who was thought dead, miraculously escaped from the Soviet prison camp in Moscow. Lenin put a bounty on his head and sent a regiment after him. Cooper made his way out of the Soviet Union and got back into Poland. And the Cooper and the American pilots of the Kosciuszko Squadron were unbelievably honored by the Polish people and government. They were given the highest military honors, the Military Virtuti, which is the equivalent of our Congressional Medal of Honor. Parades were held for them. They were offered lifetime pensions and landed estates where they would never have to work again. Cooper, knowing that Poland's great hero, Thaddeus Kosciuszko, who was offered a lifetime pension and a landed estate from the American Continental Congress in the Revolutionary War, had said, "I graciously decline your offer because the ability to fight for your freedom was reward enough." And Cooper repeated the same to the Poles. He declined their offer, saying, "The ability to fight for your freedom was payment enough." The film treatment, the movie, ends with a montage of scenes of the various American pilots telling what they went on to do with the rest of their lives. And the final montage, the final scene, is of Cooper and what he went on to do with the rest of his life. That even beyond his great Hollywood career, he continued to do his unbelievable deeds. Over 20 years later in World War II, Cooper left Hollywood at the height of his career and re-enlisted as the oldest living fighter pilot in World War II. He flew with the Flying Tigers of General Chennault in China. He was on the battleship Missouri when the Japanese surrendered. He visited London, where the Kosciuszko Squadron was still in existence as the top squadron in the Royal Air Force, as the top-rated squadron shooting down German planes. Today, Cooper looks down from the sky, and he sees that his Kosciuszko squadron is still the top squadron, the top fighter pilot squadron in the new free Poland, flying American F-16s for a free Poland. Honor to you, brave Americans. Honor to you. The Foundation to Illuminate America's Heroes requests that you donate to this great cause to turn this great story into a major motion picture for the whole world to see. The donation link is right here. Honor to you, brave Americans. Honor to you.